What is going on, my friends? It's Jesse here of REF Scents yet again. I hope everybody's doing well because we have something special for this video. Not that my other videos aren't special, but this one's going to be a little bit different because good old Uncle Jesse is going to be hosting a fragrance battle here on this channel. That's right, I have a number of fragrances picked out for a number of different occasions. We're going to take two fragrances, stack them against each other, weigh them, their pros, their cons, and hopefully be able to determine which one is the better option for you. I hope you're ready to fight because I am. Let's go. Oh my God, I hit that way too hard. Okay, so at least the camera's working again, and for any of you guys that have a very sensitive gag reflex, you may have seen a little bit too much of my upper thigh right there at the very end, but it's mine, okay? If you gotta puke about it, I totally understand. Anyways, for these battles, we're gonna judge them on three criteria. That's gonna be the way they smell, how well they perform, and how expensive they are. The first battle is going to be the battle of the blue fragrances. In one corner, we have the king of the blue fragrances, which is Bleu de Chanel. This is the Eau de Parfum version, 50 milliliters worth. And in the other corner, we have YSLY, the Eau de Parfum. This is 100 milliliters. These are both kind of that shower gel, slightly aquatic, woody undertone fragrances that are incredibly versatile. So how do they smell? This one is not going to be quite as sweet. This is going to be a little more soapy and have some more of those woody tones down near the base notes of the fragrances. But it is very widely liked and will pull a ton of compliments. The YSLY, this is going to be a little less woody on the bottom and a little more sweet on the top. It's got some top notes of some things like apple, bergamot, and geranium. But it still smells absolutely amazing. Once again, this is a compliment beast. When it comes to smell, I believe they are equally matched. Performance-wise, this one is going to get you about 8 to 10 hours. This one's going to get you about 8. So this one's going to be a little bit better on the performance over the YSLY. Price-wise, though, this 50 milliliter bottle of the Eau de Parfum cost me $110, while this 100 milliliter version of the YSLY only cost me $90. Price-wise, this one is the winner. But when you stack them all against each other, I have to go with the YSLY Eau de Parfum. This is not going to be a very popular decision, and I understand if you disagree with me, but I think the smell on this one is just a little bit better. It's a little bit sweeter, which I tend to lean a little bit more towards. But price-wise, it's going to be there. The performance, it's just a little bit behind the Bleu de Chanel, but I think it is a better valued fragrance, and it is going to be universally liked. So many people are going to like this. So YSLY, I think this is a good blue fragrance for you. For our second matchup, we're going to go with fragrances that have citrusy, bright accords that are best suited for the spring and summertime. And these two fragrances are usually compared with each other, and some even think they smell exactly alike. So for one of these fragrances, we're going to go with the House of Chanel, which is Chanel's Allure Homme Sport. This is a great, sweet, citrusy, aquatic fragrance that I recommend for athletes and guys that like to sweat and work outside. For the second fragrance, we have Versace Pour Homme. Once again, citrusy, fresh, has some things like neroli, some bergamot, some amber, musk. It is really good and really bright. These two fragrances have nearly identical scent profiles. However, it is the dry down that differentiates them. With this one right here, the dry down is not going to be very intense, and the scent profile is not going to change all that much. That can't be said for the Chanel Allure Homme Sport. This one has a very vanilla dry down, almost like a custard. Whenever you smell it, it's I say very thick. It's thick, but this one is definitely going to be a little bit more on the vanilla side. I think, based on the scent alone, I like the Allure Homme Sport a little bit better. Now, when it comes to performance, this is another area. The performance of this one is going to be about 6 to 7 hours. For the Versace Pour Homme, you're going to get about 5 to 6 hours. It's not going to be a heavy-hitting performance fragrance. And then finally, when you compare the prices, this one is very expensive. Chanel, as a whole, is not known for discounting their fragrances at all. I kind of have a chip on my shoulder about it for them, but you're going to be paying about $105 to $110 for this 100 milliliter bottle. And like I said, you're only going to find it, you're probably only going to find it retail. You're probably not going to find a discount. Now, the Versace Pour Homme, this 200 milliliter bottle, I got for $75. The price on the Versace Pour Homme is going to be infinitely better than the Allure Homme Sport, and you can find this at discounters. Now, how are we going to rank these? I think overall, I myself am going to go with the Allure Homme Sport. The performance on this one is just a little bit better. I really do like the dry down. This is definitely for guys like me who are from Florida and who are in the heat quite a bit. This is a great fragrance to have, but I will not fault you if you decide to choose this one, because like I said, they are very, very close. But I think it's worth the price. So this one wins. Moving right along to battle number 3, we're going to go with good romantic date night fragrances. And believe it or not, I am leaving off Imperial Armani Stronger With You, because that one's just a shoe-in. We got to compare a couple other things. So first one is going to be a very popular fragrance. It's been popular for a number of years. It is YSL's La Nuit de l'Homme. And then in the other corner, we have another romantic fragrance that has a completely different scent profile. It is Jean Paul Gaultier Ultra Male in its Ultra Sus bottle. Now, these fragrances are both for the same occasion. Smell-wise, the La Nuit de l'Homme is a very cardamom heavy fragrance. It's very herbaceous on the top and has this dark type of mysterious undertone, but it is definitely more suited for romance. While the Jean Paul Gaultier, this one is going to be a lot more brighter and overtly sweet with some lavender and vanilla and tonka bean in here. It kind of keeps that same DNA that the original Le Male from Jean Paul Gaultier has with its mint and its vanilla. But when compared with each other, I myself prefer the Jean Paul Gaultier Ultra Male. Now this one, like I said though, this one is very popular, and I will not fault you whatsoever for choosing this one over the Ultra Male. Now let's talk about performance a little bit. This one right here will last you about 7 hours. This is a very strong fragrance. However, the YSL La Nuit de l'Homme in its current formulation, 4 hours. This one is garbage when it comes to performance. It's a very close to the skin fragrance now. It didn't used to be. It's a very close to the skin fragrance, and it does not last very long. 4 hours, I'm not having it. And then when you compare it to the price, these fragrances, they're about the same price when you buy them retail. And also when you find them discounted, they're around the same price as well. So you're paying for 7 hours versus paying for 4 hours. This one's gonna be a very obvious thing, in my opinion, the Jean Paul Gaultier Ultra Male Ultra Sus bottle. This one wins for romance. Now for our fourth battle, we're going to go into the world of niche fragrances, and we're going to talk about scents that are great for the spring and summertime. These are going to be very vibrant and very bright. The first one is from the House of Mancera. It is Oud Lemon Mint. Look at that beautiful bottle. I love the colors in this bottle, man. So nice. And then the second one is from a house called Wilgermain. I don't see very many people talking about these fragrances, but I'm going to. And the scent is called Inconfessible. Now, when it comes to the way they smell, This one, the name or the scent profile is pretty much in the name of the fragrance. Oud Lemon and Mint. That oud is a little not quite as rich. It gives it a little bit more of a powdery vibe, as a matter of fact. You can definitely get the citrus in there, and the mint, it's not like peppermint or spearmint. Rather, it's more like mint leaves, so it even adds a little bit of a green vibe to the fragrance as well. I think it's very nice, but I will be honest, some people will have a little bit of a tough time getting used to this because it is a bit unique. On the other hand, we have the Wilgermain fragrance. The top note is full of spice. We have black pepper on black pepper and then some ginger, which just adds this really effervescent type feel to it. And then it has some really beautiful cedar and patchouli and woody notes right there on the bottom. I really enjoy the scent profile on this one. It's going to be a little bit easier to get used to, and it's even got a little bit more of a unisex feel. I think the scent profile battle between these two goes with the Wilgermain's Inconfessible. Now, performance-wise, this is where we're going to start slipping a little bit. This is a 10-hour plus fragrance right here, while the Wilgermain is about half that at about 5 hours. Now, those are 5 really beautiful hours, okay? Like I said, I really, really like this one, but the performance just isn't there, and it doesn't project very much either. It's definitely going to be a more romantic skin scent. And then finally, the price. When you shop online, you can find this at most discount websites. You can even shop on twistedlily.com and use my coupon code Jesse10 for 10% off, and you can find both of these fragrances. But you can find this one anywhere between $120 to $150 online for 120 milliliters, or this 100 milliliter bottle, this one goes for around $200, give or take. So this one wins for the price. Overall, when taken into account, the winner is going to be the Oud Lemon Mint from Mancera. Yes, the scent profile, in my opinion, is not quite as enjoyable as the Wilgermain. However, it does cost a little bit less. It does last way, way longer. And even though it's a little bit more of a unique scent, it's still really good. So you're definitely going to get your money's worth with this one. Here we are at battle number 5, and this is going to be fragrances that are affordable green scents. And what I mean by green fragrances are fragrances that smell earthy and have naturistic vibes, like you're outside, you know? Now, this first fragrance, I guarantee that a bunch of you have seen before, and since it was released in the 1980s, I also guarantee that a few of your dads also wore it. It is Davidoff Cool Water. This is the Eau de Toilette, the OG. Yes, definitely smell history in that one. And then this next fragrance is a more recent release in 2021 from the house of Banana Republic. It is Grasslands. Now, these are very, very similar in every way. So let's get into it a little bit. First off, the scent profile of the Davidoff Cool Water. When you first smell this, you're gonna get some kind of salt water vibes, you know, some oceanic vibes right up top, but it's also got some of the earthier undertones of things like patchouli and moss and even a few green notes in there. So it kind of feels like you've got these aquatic tones while you're walking in this soggy field of grass, right? Now, this next fragrance with Grassland, Grassland kind of has that same vibe, but it loses some of that deep aquatic tones right there at the top. And it's a little bit more fresh with added notes like sandalwood and mint. I usually say that this smells like what I imagine Davidoff would smell like if it were released to the modern society. You know, this one definitely shows its age. I'm not gonna lie. This one is still the same vibe and still very similar, but a little bit more updated. So I think scent profile wise, I'm going with the Banana Republic Grassland. When it comes to performance, the performance on these are very, very close. However, I think the Davidoff Cool Water does last a little bit longer at about 7 hours and even 8. This one right here is between 5 and 6 hours. Finally, let's talk about price. Both of these are similarly priced if you find them in the right places. Davidoff Cool Water running you around $25, $35. Now the Banana Republic Grassland, this is a unique situation because Banana Republic fragrances are usually more expensive when you shop online at discount websites. But if you shop in discount outlet stores like Burlington, Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, places like that, you will find these fragrances for about $20 to $25. I have, I believe, 12 fragrances from Banana Republic. I haven't paid over $25 for any of them. So be sure you shop there for these Banana Republic fragrances. So who wins in this battle? There is no winner. They tie. I believe both of these are equally as amazing as the other. It's just, do you want a more old school vibe or do you want a more contemporary vibe? Make that call, but both of these, they're really good. Here it is, time for the last battle, and this is going to be another set of niche fragrances that are frugères, which means they are barbershop type fragrances. Right after you get your shave and a haircut, spritz on, they just make you feel a little bit more refined, a little bit more fresh and clean. The first one from the House of Creed, a lot of people like to hate on it, but I really do enjoy this one, is Creed Viking. And one reason I really enjoy this one is that Creed Viking is one of their more unique fragrances. So many of them do smell good, but I do think they're a little bit more run-of-the-mill and not as risky. I really like Creed Viking. And then its contender is from the House of Penhaligon's. It is The Tragedy of Lord George and this really awesome bottle. I usually call this the bottle of House Baratheon because I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan. So let's talk about the scent profiles on these. Creed Viking, this is a spicy rose citrus fragrance. Some of the top notes are things like lime and orange, but it's also got some absinthe and some pepper in there as well. But you also get a little Bulgarian rose as it dries down. Overall, this is a really unique profile, okay? I recommend that you sample this before you ever make the decision to buy it. But it is a very unique and very spicy and effervescent scent profile. On the other hand, you have The Tragedy of Lord George, which it literally smells like a mix between shaving cream and incense. So you can see why it would be so popular to spray on right after you've been to the barbershop. My guys at the place that I go absolutely love this fragrance. I carry it with me each and every time I go, and everybody in the store spritzes on some from this bottle. So this one is amazing. So scent profile wise, I would probably give it to Penhaligon's. As a frugère fragrance itself, I think this one stands a little bit more on its own than this one does. Performance wise, this one's going to last you about 6 hours, at least it does on my skin, okay? Not too terrible, but when you're talking about a niche fragrance, sometimes you look for it to last a little bit longer than the average Joe. Whereas you've got the Creed Viking, on my skin, this one gets 8 to 10 hours. This one does stand out, and in terms of performance, I think that this one does win, the Creed Viking. It just jumps off of my skin a little bit more, it projects, it lasts a little bit longer than this one does. Now price point, this is going to be a big thing. Creed, you're going to be looking for this 100 milliliter bottle. I've seen it upwards of $450 depending on where you shop, but you can find it for around $200, $225 if the right place is carrying it at the right time. The Penhaligon's, this one is, you're going to max out at about $230 to $250 for this 100 milliliter bottle. Plus, you're paying for a really awesome bottle here. Overall, I think the price point is going to be better for the Penhaligon's. And then, overall, which one gets the title of Better Frugère Fragrance? It is going to be Penhaligon's The Tragedy of Lord George. Definitely look into this one. And there we go, my friends. This was a long but fun video to make. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I hope everybody got a little something out of it. I'm leaving the links to all of these fragrances in the description below so you can check out where to buy them. Be sure, if you do shop twistedlily.com, use my coupon code Jesse10 to get 10% off of your fragrances. And if you do shop Joma Shop, be sure to check out the links below, as they do give me a little bit of an affiliate kickback. Thank you so much for considering that, by the way. But it does also give you a bit of a discount as well. But be sure to like and subscribe. Find my link tree so that you can follow me on all of my other social media channels. I love you all. Be safe, and we'll see you next time.